Hey guys, it's ExandShadow, and welcome back to Let's Play Devil Survivor Overclocked. In the last part, we finished up the day before, and in this part, we are going to start the first day. Yeah, this is the first real day of Devil Survivor Overclocked, and the way that the game progresses from this point on is that we will go through 7 full days, so an entire week, plus the day before if you count that, but that's like half a day, so we're not going to call it that. But you go through 7 days from early morning to when you go to bed at night, trying to figure out what's going on with this black down bullshit and stuff. And if you notice, it said 1 over their heads yesterday, but now it says 0 over their heads, and it's blinking. Huh, that's weird. I'm pretty sure that's not that big of a deal. Oh well. Anyway, oh, email. We have this thing for sale on Amazon, even though you've already bought this thing no, it's now, yeah. You know, I'm just so used to seeing email notifications show up for spam or junk mail on my phone that whenever I see something actually important here, it's just sort of jarring, although that's just me. So anyway, there was an email from Nalia about this death clock thing, and then we've got another one of these Laplace mails, which predict the future. And, all of those things seem very not nice. You know, murders and blackouts and lockdowns and shit. So, wait a minute, death clock. Numbers. Shows how much time people have left to live, and that guy that died yesterday had a 0, like we all. Fuck. Yep, we're gonna die. Yeah, that's part of what gives Devil Survivor Overclocked its, I guess its tension is that you always know how much time everyone has left. So there's really this this feeling that time is always ticking down and you're not gonna get past what you need to get past. It's similar to games like Pikmin or Majora's Mask, where your enemy is, to an extent, not really the bad guys, but just, you know, time, which is an indefeatable bad guy, actually, although I think that there is a Shin Megami Tensei demon which embodies, like, time or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if there was, so maybe we could beat up time, but I don't think that would be a very smart idea, so let's just try to find a way to get out of here. That seems probably, like, the smartest solution at this point, so yeah, let's just go to Shibuya Station, and hopefully that'll turn out. And, oh wait. You guys, look. Looks like shit got real. I mean, there was a blackout, so I guess that should be expected. But still, the thing that I really like about Devil Survivor's story is that they really, I don't want to say realistic, because, you know, whenever you say that word, you imply a whole lot of things that you don't really mean to imply, but they put an awful lot of effort into making the characters' actions seem believable considering the situations that they're in. You know, it's just like the first thing that Atsuro and Yuzu and the main character do when they realize, oh god, everybody's gonna die, oh no, oh no, oh no. You know, in a lot of other games, it would just be like, okay, time to save the world. No, that doesn't happen, because would that really happen in real life? You know, you're given the thing to summon demons and you're told, yeah, you're gonna die today. You wouldn't go right away to try to save the world or help people or anything like that. You are a selfish motherfucker, and you will try to find a way out, and that's what these guys are trying to do, you know? It's one of those things that I really enjoy about this game is that, well, spoiler alert, we are going to do people and world saving and all that other JRPG stuff that we all love so much eventually. It's a logical progression of how our characters get to that goal, and in the end that goal is somewhat self-serving, because if they stop what's going on, even though we don't really know what's going on, that death clock will go away. So yeah, I just love the death clock there. It's something that you learn to appreciate, because it's just something that's always hanging over someone's head whenever you're going through the game. You know, everybody always has a number over their heads, except for the people like that SDF officer outside the lockdown didn't have a number over his head, and that's something that's always weird. That's like a gigantic red flag whenever you see someone without a number. So it's just, love that aspect of the game. But, however, all is not lost, because we can try to find a way to change our fate. Yeah, it wouldn't be a very good game if we died when we're still technically in tutorial land. So, there is indeed a way to change a number, and don't worry, as long as you're progressing through the plot, you'll never run out of time. Like, there's no way to permanently die and get a game over and have to start again. You know, as long as you do the things that you need to do plot-wise, you will always find a way to increase the death clock, but not by much, mind you, but we'll get into that when that becomes relevant. And another thing that I love about this game is that we have Atsuro and Yuzu, which basically allow us to have both a Watson and a Holmes on our team all the time. Now, if any of you guys know what you're talking about, the only reason why Watson exists is so that Sherlock can have someone to spout stuff at in order to sound smart. So Atsuro's there so that we can have all of our exposition exposited at us, although thankfully in an enjoyable, somewhat snarky and geeky way. And Yuzu's there so that he doesn't get bogged down in techno-babble and just has to explain something in a way that everybody else can understand. So I really do like the character dynamic that they have here. They managed to balance it in such a way that not only is their relationship believable and enjoyable, but it manages to fulfill a narrative role outside of just getting us attached to our partners that we're going to be going through the majority of the game with, you know. So that is why I love these guys so much. So I guess our plan is just to look for a secret exit, because, you know, the government blockade that we suspect has been in the making for quite a long time obviously left some gaping hole that 3 teenage kids that are probably not too sneaky can sneak through. You know, obviously, that's just how these things work, isn't it? But we have to, don't worry about this whole avoiding the police, they're gonna take away our comps sort of thing. That never ends up being too big of a deal. Now, anyway, here at this point we unlock the ability to do free battles. If you see right there down in the Shibuya district, it says free battle. If you select that, you'll start a tactical encounter that basically does not have any emphasis on the plot at all, and it's just there so that you can grind experience and money. You're gonna want to do those occasionally, especially on your first run through. Once you unlock New Game Plus, you get a whole feast of extra stuff that makes it so that grinding isn't as necessary, but this is a Shin Megami Tensei game. Grinding is going to happen at some point, so I'll cover free battles at some point later, but not this part. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you all my grinders or anything. But here, and now that we're in the first day, we're out of the day before, they're still teaching us the ways of how we progress through the game, so don't worry too much about like plot important decisions on day 1, but we're still, they finally are starting to give us some choice in what we want to explore and check out during the day. Like, for example, here we have the option to talk to Yuzu, to talk to Atsuro, to talk to this new guy, Kaido, and to check out the Yamamoto line. Just a hint for if you want to make it through the game and get all of the different endings open, ignore everything that Yuzu, every event with Yuzu that is not plot important. Yuzu's ending is the only ending out of the 5 that is given to you no matter what you do. It's basically the default ending. So you don't need to look at anything that Yuzu ever says if it's not plot important. It basically just ends up with you wasting time. Events with Kaido, however, do affect the main plot, and he's a character you are going to want to keep an eye out for. Because, well, first off, he's a new character, so obviously you're going to want to meet him, but also he does end up playing a role in future events. I like Kaido quite a bit, too, because he's got this sort of, like, he's just an entertaining character. We'll be seeing more of him eventually. That's another thing about the first day that you end up seeing a lot of, is that this is where we get introduced to a lot of the other characters. Like, we get introduced to Kaido here, who we'll be seeing. There's a few other people scattered about that we'll be meeting. And obviously he has a death clock. Nothing that, if you say I don't remember Yuzu and Atsuro, just get mad at you, but there's no real reason not to say 6, because nearly everybody you talk to will have 6. If they don't have 6, that means that there's something plot important with them that you're going to have to meddle with in order to hopefully raise that number a little bit more. So yeah, Kaido said that he'll help us find Naoya. That's nice, I guess, although without cell phones there's nothing really all that important there, but you know what, whatever, you know, he's trying at the very least. So anyway, here, now you unlocked a new thingy for us, the Devil Auction. And the Devil Auction, I'm going to just talk about its functions right now, because I'm just going to, you know, talk about, we have a devil auction now. That's weird. So yeah, that's the conversation going on right now. But the devil auction, in terms of gameplay, is how we add more demons to our roster. And a lot of the other Shin Megami Tensei games, you get demons through demon recruitment, which basically means when you get to a wild battle, well, not a wild battle, a random battle. Sorry, I've got Pokemon on the brain. But you go to a random battle, you see a demon you want to recruit, you talk to them, and then you got to do this whole dance where you got to give them the items that they want and money, and you got to answer questions. And demon recruitment is one of my least favorite aspects of the mainline Shin Megami Tensei series. I hate that shit. So instead of that, and instead of the Persona series where you get them through like little mini games, or at least you got them through little mini games in Personas 3 and 4, here you get new demons through the Devil Auction, which is a system unique to Devil Survivor and Devil Survivor 2, as far as I can tell. But the Devil Auction basically allows you to buy them. There's no real, like, complicated questing that you have to do, no real complicated procedure with the, like, demon conversation. You just end up buying them. You can go in with your money, say, I want to buy this demon, you go in, you buy the demon, you get the demon, which is simple, and I like it. Now, it's not just a matter of simply buying the demon, although that is an option. You know, if you want to, if the demon's up for sale for 300 Maka, you can buy it for 300 Maka. You know, that is an option. Not an auction. That is an option. However, you're probably not going to want to spend that much money, because the prices for just buying the demons outright is a little bit expensive, especially considering that grinding money, especially in the early game, is kind of an obnoxious procedure. However, that's where the actual auctioning comes in. Basically, you'll get 5 seconds and you want to bid on the demon, and if you've ever heard of an auction before, you bid the most money, you get the demon. Now, the way that it works is that these 3 other computer controlled people will bid on this dude, and so what you're going to want to do is don't bid during the 5 seconds. You know, they'll always bid enough to enter this final bid thing. So if you end up bidding during that first part, all you'll end up doing is raising the price for the demon that you want to buy. What you want to do is wait until you get to the final bid, and then try to guess the amount of money that you need in order to get the demon. I recommend only getting demons that are 3, 4, or 5 stars, because those are the demons that are going to have better stats or have more moves. You'll see their star rating on the, like, near their name and stuff. The thing is, however, the basic trick, if you want to make sure that you get the demon that you're going for, is if you think that you've bid enough money in order to get the demon, bid a little bit more. I always find myself underbidding whenever I go to the Devil Auction, and that's usually when I lose. But don't worry, even if you end up losing a whole bunch at the Devil Auction, all you've got to do is save the game, reset, and you can do that quickly by pressing LR and select. You don't have to turn the game off and on again. All you have to do is reset the game, and then the Devil Auction will reset, and you can go and try again and try to buy the demon that you want. And if the demon that you want isn't there, you can reset, and then it'll randomize a new selection, and then it might be there too. So the Devil Auction's a little bit annoying, but when the options are between that and demon negotiation, I'll take the Devil Auction any day of the week and twice on Sunday. So yeah, that's the only time I'm going to be really showing the Devil Auction to you. The thing is that whenever you fight a new demon in the game, so let's say I find Jack Frost, spoiler alert, Jack Frost is in the game. When I find Jack Frost and I beat him up for the first time, assuming I'm at the level required to recruit him, he'll pop up in the Devil Auction. So basically, whenever you see a new demon, you'll be able to buy it. Basically, you'll never be able to buy a demon in the auction that you have not already seen yet. So that's really why there's no other point to going in there, is because it's not like I'm going to be buying something that you've never seen before. It's always going to be something that you know exists by this point. So yeah, when it comes to Demon Fusion, which also is not a spoiler, that it's in this game because it's Shin Megami Tensei. I might be showing more of that when we unlock the ability, but that won't be happening for a little while, so don't worry too much about Demon Fusion most often. Anyway, here we've got some character development for Atsuro, which is nice, but the thing is that we had an option to either talk to Atsuro or talk to Yuzu. Atsuro also has an ending. There are 5 well, technically 6, but there are 5 endings and 6 characters that have endings. Amane, the girl we met yesterday, has an ending. Naoya has an ending. This dude, who we're talking to right now, has an ending. Yuzu has an ending, and Atsuro has an ending. All these people have their own endings to the game, so you want to pay attention to everybody but Yuzu's events whenever you're going through the game, because those are going to be important to unlocking all the different endings to what you want to do, basically. So Atsuro, it's easy to forget that he has an ending because you see him so often, because he's part of the main party. He's doing a lot of dialogue even during story events, but you are not going to want to ignore Atsuro events when they pop up in the field. You know, occasionally there'll be some that you can skip, but especially early on, you know, within like the first 2 or 3 days, there are pivotal Atsuro events that unlock both, that are important to unlocking 2 different endings. So even if you don't want to go for his ending, it's important to go for those events. So yeah. Anyway, this dude we are talking to right now is Jin, and yeah, I chose to say I'm Yuzu's boyfriend. I'm just gonna say it right now. If the decision isn't plot important, I'm going to go for I'm choosing the dialogue option that I think is the funniest. So yeah, that's why I'm choosing sort of these oddball answers. Although that's just because I imagine that the main character is playa, and he would say something like that. So yeah, Jin's a pretty sweet dude though. He's pretty chill and stuff. Kind of a weird tie though. It's just sort of like, it's kind of a weird looking thing. I'm not really one to criticize someone else's fashion choices, so I'm not going to do that. His hair is kind of ridiculously spiky, though. I have to say, for anime, which is a genre that is usually criticized for incredibly ridiculous hairstyles, there's been it's been surprisingly restrained in that category. I mean, we've had plenty of ridiculous outfits and headpieces, but when it comes to ridiculous hairstyles, this is pretty much the first one. And if Yugi is a 10 on the anime ridiculous hairstyle list, this is like a 3 at the most. So yeah,
Is Jin going to die
yeah.
in 6 days?
So anyway, Jin's going to die in 6 days, but everybody's going to die in 6 days, so I'm not too worried about that. He'll be fine. So yeah, we're basically sort of boned. Everything that we do is turning up empty, and nobody we talk to can help us. So next time we're going to look into more about this blackout, and also about this lockdown. I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later.